Hello. So today I'm going to talk about using your ovulation strips and PCOS. Now, for 5 years, I have spent all of this money on ovulation test strips, but I didn't realize with PCOS you always have a high level of LH in your body. So the trick to it is not only taking your basal body temperature, but you got to pay attention to the strips, because I notice a lot of times people will think that they have a positive on their ovulation test when actually it's just high levels of the luteinizing hormone. So you have to take your BBT, your basal body temperature, daily. When there is a dip, you're about to ovulate, but sometimes your temperature will drop and then it'll go back to normal. So that's not ovulation. When you have PCOS, you have to realize that your ovulation is going to occur when that temperature hits up in the 98 degrees. When it's in the high 98s or the low to high 98s, then ovulation has occurred. But if it drops to 96.3 and then goes up to 97.1 and then goes back down to 96 and then 97.5, you haven't ovulated yet. Because once you ovulate, it is going to stay elevated at least for 12 days. It depends on how long your phase is, how long your wait is. Some people's wait is 12 days. Some people, your luteal phase, that's what I was trying to think of. Some is 12 to 14, 16 days. It just depends on how long your luteal phase is. And your luteal phase is how many days from your first day of ovulation to AF. Now, back to the test strips. When you are ovulating, that test strip, the test line is going to be either equal to, not the test line, but your second line is going to be equal to the color or darker than that first line. If it's not the same or darker, then you have not ovulated yet. It can be very, very close and still you have not ovulated. So that's why with PCOS, you got to make sure to take your BBT while you are using those test strips. Me personally, I have come to a point where I don't have to use the test strips, because once my temperature drops, that is letting me know that my body is preparing to ovulate. Okay, and after it rises up at least 1 degree and it is in the 98s, that lets me know that I have ovulated. Ovulation has occurred, so there is nothing else I can do after that. So you want to make sure that when that temperature drops, that is baby dance time. So it's good to try to already have baby dance before the temperature drops, because sometimes it may take 2 days for it to rise. Sometimes it may take a day. You just never know. So you have to pay attention to your basal body temperature when you have PCOS, endometriosis, because that is your sign. Because with PCOS, your temperature is going to rise and drop often. And oftentimes the test strips are not reliable when it comes to whether or not you are about to ovulate or you have ovulated. So my suggestion, if you're going to use the test strips, they're not the same as reading a pregnancy test. A pregnancy test, you see any line whatsoever, then that means a BFP. But with a ovulation test, you're going to see a line regardless, but that does not mean that you're ovulating. That line has to be darker or equal to that color, that first line. So if you have any questions, especially those of you that have PCOS, and you want to know more, then just remember to subscribe and follow me on this journey. These are just some of the things that I've experienced for the past 5 years as far as trying to conceive, and I just wanted to share that knowledge with you all, things that I've learned, and ways to save money, because trying to conceive is expensive, okay? And just a little simple thing. Every dollar adds up. So if you have any questions, you can email me or subscribe. Put a question below, or whatever is convenient for you. And talk to you later.